It's Friday, and you know what that means. Another episode of the Exiled Outcast. We can't do it alone. We need the boss man himself. Chayton Long, what's going on, sir?
Besides some technical issues I was having with that, with the intro started again at the beginning, but then stopped. I hit the main thing at the beginning, but it's been a while. It's been a week, which on the internet means a year usually.
So that means we're done and we're the program's over. We
this one week and just like you'll freak out. They need their daily Exiled Outcast fix to get through the weekend.
But to be fair, but to be honest, is that really fucking fair? I mean, think about it. Like, and we talked about this off air, but I'll say it now. We do this for fun.
Oh yes,
we do it for the joy of it. We do it because we're friends and we like to talk about whatever the topic may be. But we don't owe anybody shit.
No, agreed. This whole we've said this whole thing basically started as a situation where I was going to be leaving.
Yeah,
it was for us to kind of keep doing something entertaining for us,
and it was for you and me, like to go back and just shoot the shit and talk because we had never worked together. And again, it was a process of getting to where we're at now. I love what we're doing. I love where we're at. But again, like extenuating circumstances happen. I'll hold no bones about it. I wasn't feeling too good. I had to switch over on some medicine. It really didn't take too well, and I believe you got sick.
Yeah, I was bedridden on Tuesday. When did we do the Barbie episode? We did that Monday, right?
Yeah.
So it was right beforehand. I honestly believe it was because I've been basically working myself to death the last couple of weeks. And it's not here. It's more so like waking up. Or as most people who know me know, I'm not a morning person. No, I don't like to wake up early every day. But I've been doing that for work and long shifts at work, and then also doing some family matters I've had to attend to and be up for that, and then.
Whenever we record this, I'm usually just getting off a shift and I'm staying up extra so you can, so we can meet at a reasonable time,
Because we used to do it on the weekends, but then I don't know how if that's gonna again every Wednesday. I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be back to normal. And I'm like, fuck. But I'm like, it'll be long shifts. I can't complain too much about it.
But I mean, like I said, and it feeds right back in today's topic. Social media in general, like as you can see in the back, there's this image of Tyler Durden. It says you are not how many likes you get because you're not.
Yeah,
we've spent, and the thing is, social media has done some beautiful things. We're closer than ever. We're able to do this because of the introduction of the internet and streaming, and we're able to reach whatever crowd audience we do because we're allowed to. We're given that privilege through the internet, which I'm grateful for. Not gonna.
Yeah, we've been able to even in a more personal matter. We've been able to get into contact with people we maybe never had been in contact with in years. My half brother, we lost contact again, but we for a brief period we talked for the first time in nearly 20 years. So it was nice hearing from him. And then, again, we lost contact again, but it like that brief glimmer of it,
the possibility is there. I have friends that live up north. I have friends that live on the East Coast and West Coast. I have friends from Canada, friends in the UK, people that I talk to on a regular basis. What it is. We have really nice, decent conversations about what life is like there and how everything's going. That's the beautiful thing of the internet.
Yeah,
but it's that dark side I want to talk about. And it goes back to what I said in the beginning of this. For some reason, so many people feel like you are owed an explanation about your personal life. And damn it, I'm no celebrity. You're no celebrity.
No.
We're just two fucking schmucks that like to do this fucking program. And if some shit comes up, this is my opinion, and you could speak on however you feel, but I don't know anybody's shit. I don't have to tell you that my fucking I'm throwing up or that I'm shitting myself to death, I don't have to tell you anybody anything.
Be like, oh yeah, this chick was just too much yesterday, and I'm bedridden the entire rest of the day.
It is a courtesy.
Yeah.
Somewhere along the lines, like like we talked about this offline, I felt a little bit of guilt. I was like, fuck, we're gonna miss a week. And then it hit me. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm fucking sick. And I'm exhausted.
Yeah, and that's how it's a similar thing I was feeling with. I was like, I feel bad, but then I'm like thinking, wait a second. It's like I'd rather be able to, like, I would say I'm still not 100%, but like I would rather give like it 75% than 2%. That was how I felt last week.
You went down that realm of thinking. My realm of thinking is we're not getting paid for this.
That too. I'm not going to put my like with work. I called in one day, but then I'm like, okay, I can't be calling in every day. So I'm like, okay, just rest today. Tomorrow, I still feel like shit. I gotta go in because that's my bread and butter. That's why I get paid for. This I don't. So it's not like this is purely out of enjoyment.
Yes, absolutely. And I've watched, again, we have to, and I put it like this because there's a lot of people that surround this circle. A lot of people that are basically that touch this platform as well as other platforms that we interact in and we discuss and we talk. And that's basically the core audience of what we would say is here, even if they dislike you or they dislike me, if they're programming, whatever. But I watch them just because I want to understand what for lack of a better term, the competition is doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, I don't owe anybody anything. I watched that because I find it interesting, but what I was getting to was there's a lot of people in these outer line little spots. I hate the word community. I fucking hate that word. But there's in these outer lining little areas that, we didn't do this. We have to put on this and we have to go for 7 hours or we have to do this. And I was like, you don't owe anybody shit.
Yeah, I did, and everybody knows I did a 12-hour fucking stream one time. Not because I had to, but because I thought it would be a cool little idea. And it worked.
But even you were guilty at a time. Again, this is why this act, going back to the creation of the Exiled Outcast.
Oh, yeah.
That there was a time when you felt like you had to do this, you had to do that, you had to be on constantly.
Yeah.
And going back to those old streams, like we talked about that as well. You were in the corner playing video games because you were so fucking burnt out of having to be the character so fucking long. You know what? Fuck being a character. I'm Dan, and I was fucking tired, and I was fucking exhausted, and I have a fucking boss who helps me do this shit, who said, look, man, if you're tired, fucking, it's all good. You're going through some shit, cool. I'm going through some shit myself. Let's take a break. There was even a discussion of saying we're going to cut this here. This will be the end of season 1, depending on what episode we stop on, and we'll take a hiatus for a little bit and come back. Which you've done that on Spotify, and it's worked out well for you there. But I want people to understand, in no way, shape, or form, think that we have to do this every week. We don't. We do it for fun, and the second it starts getting a little dragging, we might take a break. And the second it's no longer fun, I'm going to be like, you and I will have a long discussion about should we keep doing this, and that's my honest opinion about things.
Yeah, and the other thing is, it's like the times I've taken hiatuses is either getting burnt out or not liking the format I'm currently working with, because like the Spotify stuff went through, like it's kind of confusing because when you go on there's like 3 different fucking ideas of a show. There's like the original idea, which was just talking about like franchises and movies in a retrospective format. But then that got and that like that, because especially if it was more than one movie, you have to do a lot of research on that. That's a lot of fucking work. And then with and I make money off of that, but I'm not like, again, it's not like, these are voluntarily. These are not like people who are, and again, I appreciate every single person who does that, but like it's not like, oh, you have to put money in it and therefore and all that. But then the second idea was a movie news thing, which I was doing very well, but then work was getting too much, and then I was just kind of and then personally, so I put it off again. Then when we started to do this, I'm like, fuck that. I'm just going to do, this is going to be basically the House of Chain is going to become just a brand, and then the Exiled, Outcast, and Exiled Entertainment are going to be parts of that brand. I said that the House of Chain name is just going to be name alone. It's not going to be like I'm bringing the old podcast back for some events I'm doing in the next couple of months, but that's by a friend of mine won some people to do some stuff. So I was like, okay, good, I'll do that. But besides
I'm all about you getting out there and expanding. And again, ultimately, this is your channel. You have given me the privilege of working with you on this, so I contribute with what I can, whether it be graphics or audio or video or whatever I can to throw in there. And I think that takes some of the pressure off you, because before, I mean, granted, you and Tom did excellent stuff, and he was working the Flash side of it, and he made. I'm not trying to compete with Tom. I want to make that clear. This is just something more simple. But it just takes a little bit of the edge off you, because you ultimately are the fucking, you're the sizzle. You're the guy. You're the guy you put out there in front. There is no House of Dan and Chayton. It's House of Chayton. Ultimately, you're in charge. My job is to try to ease off some of that. And I learned a lot of like being behind the scenes stuff from whenever I did stuff like this. And I had trips, and I could never say I had a better partner in crime as a supporting character. So if I can be half as good as her for you, then I'm doing a good job. I just want you to have a little bit of fucking ease, so you don't have to go back to try to do everything. And I got to make this character, and I got to do this. The thing is, you had Tom for the longest time, who had like the voice of God, or he had different bits that built up. But again, like you and I talked about that just fucking got stressful having to do a multi-hour live program. And the beautiful thing about this is, yeah, we can put some in the can. Yeah, we can do this and that. But ultimately, fuck that. I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it and fucking kept your composure and didn't fucking blow up. Well, we talked about it before. You almost did blow up. But like I said, It just fucking... And that's the fucking curse that social media brings. You want to be on Twitter, you want to be on TikTok, you want to do all these things, and you're only one motherfucking person. It's hard.
Oh yeah, like I'm usually a few social media type of person. Like I have a TikTok, I have an Instagram, I have Facebook. Facebook is kind of my personal. Like I have my basically people who I consider close friends or friends in general that I trust. And then Instagram and TikTok are like and even Instagram, I private it just because I like TikTok. I don't give a shit. Like people could, because I always say I private a lot of my shit, because you got a lot of fucking weirdos out there wanting to take pictures of dudes and chicks. So I'm like, yeah, and they're chicks, and then study the pictures. So I'm like, if any needs on TikTok, go over my TikTok. And plus, they know not to go on my TikTok, because they know I could find out if they are viewing my profile. Yeah, I love that feature. I wish other places would do that, because it's that way you don't know if they're smart enough not to go on there, because if they do, I'm going to ridicule them for that. See, told you.
But see, and here's the crazy thing about that, and without saying and going too much detail, and I'm not trying to start a fucking skiff with somebody or anything. There was somebody who was making fucking little clips and using my head and my pictures and shit like that, and I was like, first off, who the fuck is this guy? Secondly, how do I know you? What are you? Oh, thumbs up, brother. If you have the time to do it, cool. I don't.
That's usually what I tell them when it's some random person just like saying, "Oh, you're a piece of shit." I'm like,
okay.
You used to be my defense would have been if ever somebody did something like that, I'd be like, "Who are you? What did I do to your sister?"
Well,
but that fucker never call her back. Is that why you have a beef with me?
It's the anonymity that you get from these social media platforms. You're not allowed to, you can hide behind a visage of a photo, or not everybody has the courage to put themselves out there like you, and I'll even put myself in that. This is who I am. This is my fucking face. That is my deal.
Like the whole idea, and that's another thing with people saying that like they want everybody to show their face. Some people like the privacy, like the privacy. Like you can hear their voice. They're legit. They're a real person. You don't hear beep boop beep bop. Like that type of shit. But some people, and plus we live in a society where we have a lot of fucked up individuals that will do heinous things to your face and memes or gifs or whatever. So they don't want to fucking have to deal with that.
Weird. And look, I mean, if that's your shtick, man, do your thing.
Like, I'll say this. Like ZTV, he doesn't show his face. People have been trying to get him to do that for years. I will say, I don't blame him why he doesn't show his face. People may agree or disagree with him on things that, like, me and him have had disagreements. But I will say, I envy him that he has been so gung-ho about not doing anything. And I know he's said for different reasons why he doesn't, but it's just the idea of look at people taking pictures of his Zelda art and using it as like his profile for these things. You know,
you see it that way. I could give two fucks what the guy looks like. I don't care.
Yeah, but you get what I mean. Like, some people just are so gung-ho to see what they look like, and I find that so weird.
So, and we talked about this before. It was something that we might talk about later. But I was saying, sometimes it's better just to sit back and be in the crowd, right? Like, you know, like, and that's a mistake I made personally. Is I wanted to be behind the velvet rope. I wanted to, you know, be in there and helping out, and I wanted to learn.
I wanted to be that, basically that I guess I would call it the hand of destruction. Be like, oh, well, like, let's like, oh shit, we're getting attacked by these people. Let's open the Chaitin button and let's press it to summon him, because he'll take care of these guys. Because I used to be that guy who fucking would go after anybody who I deemed not a threat, but deemed fucking, you know, that was attacking either myself or people I know. And one of the biggest lessons I've had to learn is to just watch it, not engage, watch it. And it's
hilarious. It goes back to what social media was intended for, to some regard, for entertainment. And I think that so many people figure that out way too late. I know I did. I know that I've made so many fucking mistakes trying to just, because I wanted to have my hands over here, and I wanted to get involved with this, and because I felt like, oh, well, I have thoughts on this, and I'd like to express my opinion. But that comes off, and definitely for me, because the way I speak and the way I guess I carry myself, they think I'm trying to act like I'm some sort of superior person. It's not that. I just have an opinion. I just need to shut the fuck up and watch the show. Get my fucking bag of popcorn and just watch, because in the time that we've had that sit back and the namesake of Exiled Outcast, the exiling of both you and myself, I was able to sit back and just enjoy a program for what it is. Okay. A perfect example. You will just put it out there. Cyrax, you know the name Cyrax?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just a fucking ball of joy. Let's just put it that way. I enjoy watching the content done on him. We talked about last week or the week before, Allie and the documentary that was done by Mr. Snowflake, correct?
Yeah.
So I learned about Cyrax through Mr. Snowflake. I heard the name before. I knew friends that were in that community, that whole thing. And I enjoyed the documentary, which made me get enthralled in the community, and I started watching. I don't get involved in their stuff. I don't care to get involved. I sit back as someone who enjoys the content. There is a guy named, let's just call him Music Biz Marty, and I enjoy his content. It's completely, some people would call deplorable, but he's the ultimate troll, and I enjoy his content. Recently, his content has crossed paths with another group called Girl World, which is surrounded around foodie beauty, and they've worlds colliding. And I enjoy the content for what it is. And I'm a fan of the content. It's okay to be a fan of the content. You don't have to get involved. You don't have to fucking run over there and try to join the fucking crusade against these people. Just enjoy the show for what it is. So in the same realm of Cyrax and enjoying the craziness that is this guy, like he is a dumpster fire if I've ever seen one. There's a character named CVG, and CVG and amongst other people have started to clash with someone who is relatively close in another part of another community that, we've had interactions with. But it doesn't mean that I stop liking CVG. I just don't have to get involved in their fight. It's not my place.
I just watch and am entertained. With me, it works perfectly because I don't like certain people I do not like.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, I like there's like no need. Like if one side says, "Oh, join our side, help us fight them," I'm gonna be like, I don't like you. I'm just going to sit back and watch it because I find it entertaining.
But even then, it's not like, for me, it's not a personal shot. I'm not joining.
Yeah, it's like,
not because I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm watching for entertainment purposes. If it turns and one side wins, cool. If the other side wins, great. I'm enjoying it for the
back and forth and the chaos of it.
And to be fair, like, it's, for some of us, it can just be entertainment. It doesn't have to be an all-out fucking war. And that's the big thing, that social media, when it brings you close, when you've interacted with these people, when you've gone on to streams and you've gone back and forth, you feel like you're personally invested. And so many people get to that point, and so they feel like they also have to pick up weapons and fight back, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
We don't.
It's like the StreamYard thing, for example. The stream, like whenever that link is in the chat, it's always that
itch.
Yeah, like the forbidden fruit, and you just want to fucking bite it.
But it's buyer beware, though. It's you've got to be careful with that, because once you push that link, you've involved yourself in something you have no business getting involved in.
Yeah, you've interjected yourself. Like nowadays, I've always said this. I've always said this with myself, is that if the only times I ever involve myself in situations of that nature is either A, if it involves me directly, or B, that if they want a opinion of the matter from someone who I say I'm a fair individual, I will basically call out one side or the other. I'm not going to fucking just say you're like, this person's wrong because I don't like them. If I feel like my friend is fucking out, I'm going to say, well, I may not like this person, but you fucked up too, man. But
so you're at that point. I'm to a point now where I don't even care about that. Like, I used to at least once a night go into a stream or whoever was doing something, and now I just, even if I were to be brought up, I'm not interested.
Like if I'm brought up like in that aspect, like someone just says, "Hey, Shane, fuck you" or something, that doesn't bother me anymore. Like, I don't come in and be like, "Oh, people mention my name." Like, I'm like, it's died down nowadays, which is nice. So I don't really hear too many people, but also I've kind of weaved out people who I've talked about this for, the instigators who try to instigate BS, and I'm just like I'm not even like, and people in Discord could verify this. I'm not even on Discord that much anymore.
But okay, like, so like, people are, in my opinion, are chasing that like it says, you're chasing the likes. You're chasing the views. You're chasing this. And it's not just about like drama. It's not like, when you start jumping into scenarios like this, like what we're discussing, you're taking away from yourself. Like, you and I do a program, and this is not necessarily about anybody in particular. I'm, like I said, I brought up the channel CVG. I love that channel because some of this stuff is entertaining. I like watching his montages on Cyrax, and I knew about the Cyrax stuff far before they got involved with the folks that are close to this, to our little circle. I watched them way before then, and I'm not going to stop watching them because they're beefing with somebody that I happen to know. Like, I don't personally know the people they're beefing with. I know of them. I've had conversations with them. I've had disputes with them. We've gone into arguments, but that was a mistake. That was something I should have never gotten involved in. I should have continued to make the content and work on things that I enjoyed, and let that little tiff be their tiff. When you start adding people, adding characters to the situation, depending on who it is, it just makes it fucking worse. Now, if there's someone who's legitimately entertaining and wants to jump in there and they have a dog in the fight, hey, I'm not here to tell you what to do. You want to fight? Cool. You want to make a response to somebody? Cool. That's just not me personally anymore. I don't feel the need to fight anybody's fight anymore. No one's fucking with us over here. We're just doing our thing. And if we have an observation, cool, we'll talk about it like no different than when we watch movies and shit and talk about it. We'll talk about it personally off air and say, wow, that was crazy. I can't believe that happened. Oh, but did you see that other video? And then we'll transition to something else. It doesn't have to be ultimately, oh, I'm picking up my weapon. We're going to the blue team. We're going to the red team. It just sit back and let them do their thing.
And that was something I've said before. That was something that I myself had to learn to basically not only know when to walk away, but pick and choose your fights, basically. Because and again, I don't go looking for one. That's the thing. But it's like when I hear something's going on, and they're like, oh, we need to band together. I'm like, nah, you can. I'm not.
Yeah, but that again, you get burned so many times. If you're a dog and you get hit so many times, eventually you just say, "Fuck it, I'm not doing this anymore." And even now, I have another channel that I used to comment, and I'll enter fucking Jordy's channel, and I'll say, "Hey, what's going on?" We'll talk. We'll just chop it up and talk shit. Or Big Boy does his stuff on his channel, his little Fortnite stuff, and when I'm awake and I'm not fucking crashed out, I'll stop it and say, "Oh, that's funny, this and that," and I'll call one of their guys the Wish version of Jason Statham. And it's just it's always good fun. There's no negativity, and So to quote Tyler Durden, who is in the background, you choose your level of involvement. Yeah. And if you want to be involved to a level where you make yourself a target, I apologize, but I don't have sympathy for you. Not anymore. The days of saying, "Oh, let's we got to defend this person." You make a choice. Ultimately, everybody makes the choice to get involved. And if you whether you leave a comment or you make a statement or you pick a side, you make yourself vulnerable to that. Perfect example.
I'll give an example for this reason. I won't name names, but there was an incident recently that happened where someone got outed for being a POD basically.
Yeah.
There was somebody that was not sure of the whole situation. I won't say who it was because again they didn't. This wasn't public. Some people went online and basically defended this not the individual I referred to, but the one who got outed, and at the end made themselves look like a fucking idiot because some of us knew about heard it from the individual's mouth themselves. So this other individual, he was talking to me and a few others privately, and we were having conversations about this. And while he wasn't 100% sure until he finally saw everything firsthand, he didn't make it a thing to go on a stream or go on a video and say, "Oh, I don't know what's going on, but I defend this person until I see something differently." So I commend that. There are times where you can open your mouth and say something, and then there are times where you need to keep your mouth shut.
Well, and you and I talked about that. You and I talked about that, and ultimately, what bothered me is that there are people that knew the full story beforehand and said nothing. They knew the entire time and said nothing. They knew the details. They knew all of everything. They knew the allegations firsthand and they were admitted to by said individual, and they did nothing. And it just really knocked a lot of people who I had high respect for's credibility because.
And that kind of turned me away from honestly, that was like a catalyst for me not to be as active on streams anymore because I stick to the people I trust.
Well, see,
there's not a lot of people on the internet, let's just be honest, that you can trust.
Not even a little bit. And, I think when it's something like that, I think, and I'll use the example, you did the right thing. You came out, you made a quick little statement. This is how I feel, this, and this. You didn't go into too much detail, and you said, I will give you a warning now. Don't bring this person up. Don't, you follow them. Don't follow me. And you moved on. You had a nice, it was what it was. But to go into something more of a grand scheme thing, talking about Cyrax. So I don't know if you know who Foodie Beauty is. She is a very interesting woman. She is I've
heard the name, but
if you haven't seen her, I don't recommend looking her up because you're going to go down a rabbit hole of just nonsense discussing this mukbangs and a very large woman who pretends to be Muslim. But now she's defending Cyrax, who is a known PDF file. We'll just say that. And she's trying to defend him.
That's a good one.
Well, she's got Cyrax's people going after her now because she decided And ultimately, I think it's because she wanted the views. And partially, I feel like that's some of these people in the surrounding circles. They attack and they make a stream about this, and shit comes out, and within 5 minutes, you have 15 different streams from 15 different people about the same topic. When some people have nothing to do with it, but they feel that their opinion is so important that it has to come out.
I was going through just my feed, and I was seeing somebody make a video about the person I mentioned earlier. And I'm like thinking, this has been a dead, honestly, this is kind of a dead story now. I'm like, and you were not even involved.
Like you and I have both been guilty of that. And I'm not saying that anybody's better than anybody. It just takes a lot of fucking maturity to say, you know what? I don't know anything about that. I don't want to know anything about that. I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot fucking pole. So you can have it. You can put that in a bag and y'all can fucking play with it all you want. I'm going to stay over here and do this. I enjoy certain things for entertainment. Like there were some interviews that came out. I was like, well, this is something. And I
that was.
I was like, wow. I mean, it was very, let's just say, informative.
Yeah.
And so I was like, you know what? That just tells me that I made the right decision not to get involved with this shit or give my opinion. I will share my opinion behind the scenes with you. It's like, wow, that's kind of fucked up. We should probably distance ourselves from that. And you agreed, and we did. But not everybody thinks like that. All this idea that we're so interconnected that they think that everybody needs to know your thoughts, and it's a giant fucking town hall meeting, and no one knows when to say, you know what? So maybe some of us should get away because you have nothing to do with it. You don't.
Yeah, it's like when people say, like, I've been in shoes with people and they say, hey, do you know this person? We could go after them. And I'm like, I literally tell them, I'm like, even if I wanted to, I only go after people who I feel if you're done something to me, you're done something to someone. This is back when I was like,
but I want you to think about that. When someone comes to you and says we should go after them, what the fuck do you mean go after them? Now,
make videos. I'm like, who like. It's like, and again, I used to be that person that would go after
people. We both were.
Yeah. But it's like, it gets tiring. Sometimes it gets personal.
Now, that being said, I will say that some of those interviews that I saw, when they were very informative, I was happy to see them because it gave me a perspective and it made me go, okay, so this is this person. This is what they're capable of. I don't want anything to do with them. I'm glad I have this information now, so I can make an informed decision about the direction and the channels and the content that I view, because I don't want anything to do with that person, because to me, they are disgusting. They are despicable. They are everything under the sun, but now I know about it. So now I can make that educated, decision to stay away from them and not acknowledge them. I can come back. Oh, let me go watch this. Let me go watch that. Let me stay away from that. I hope that they get to the proper authorities, and I hope the proper authorities are alerted about that, please. And they seem that's what some of these people are doing, and they're educating others about this, and if that's how they want to do things, cool. I hope that they're taking the right steps, and it's not just content for them.
Yeah, and also something else I wanted to add, like people, they're like going back to the whole idea of social media, like there's even like just when we're talking about like the likes and all that, some people that their entire livelihoods are on social media, whether it is YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, fucking Instagram, X or Twitter, whatever the fuck it is nowadays. Fucking whatever other ones, Threads, which is a side thing of Instagram. I downloaded that. I was on it for a couple of days. I haven't been on since. That tells you how much. Like with Facebook, I just like Instagram is mainly where I post pictures. Facebook, I just share shit, and on the occasion, I will make some posts, or like I made one the other day about basically being who you are and not giving a shit who if some people don't like you. Because I've said this before, I'm a very polarizing individual, even outside of the internet sometimes. And I always tell people, I'm like, the people who like me, they whether you like me or hate me, I said I will never compromise myself, especially again over you or not you and Joe, but you, the people. I'm not going to go on a fucking stream and dance and basically dance for people's entertainment like I used to back in the day.
Well, I'll say that there are some people that have made a choice and they know that they don't want to be involved in it, and they've made a decision. Like I'll bring up Tom. Tom has done his own thing. Jordy has done his own thing.
Yeah,
and kudos to them for like again, that was one of the real turning points for me to say that you and him should talk, because he's been a man of his word and he's been doing his own thing. He addresses certain things and like part of his particular group of people, and if someone follows him, he's like, nope, I'm done. I'm letting you know this is you're gone from my community. I fucking hate that word, community.
Oh,
and this is why. And look, people can criticize Jordy all they want, but he's done a good job of that. Tom has come back and tried to stick to his ideals of doing video game news, and
he's doing, and even now he's kind of he's not even. I don't know if you saw like the last rant really, but he's not even doing. He's going to be doing some other stuff, but he seems like he's done in regards to making content for now, at least, because we've all said we're done with fucking YouTube, and here we are still. And how many times have I said I'm leaving YouTube?
But then again, like I think that this has been a good thing in the fact that we can have a conversation right now. We're not choosing any kind of, I can find someone despicable. I can find someone this and that, but I can also sit back and I can enjoy certain content. I am appreciative of being knowledgeable. I am appreciative of people coming out and letting me know, oh, this person's this. Cool. So let's not let's get them away from us. And if they want to comment, no, if you want to bring your bickering here, and you are that deplorable person, and you are, a fan of like certain literature, or you have done something really horrible to someone that is an innocent person, I don't want you here. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to know you. I don't want to, and so I'm appreciative to know that there are those out there that do those dirty jobs and they clear it up. Cool. I'm glad you're doing that. I'm hoping that like I said, I'm hoping you're taking it to the right people to ultimately expose these people for who they are. And thank you for letting us know. So we're steering away from that. We're trying to avoid mines and avoid potholes in our little journey here to do our thing. So thank you for that. But I'm not, and I think that's the idea. What was the old adage? Don't start nothing, won't be nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not
look around and find out.
Yeah. Like you want to do that? Cool. I'm just here to enjoy the ride for what it is.
That's usually why I tell people sometimes if they try to act smart, just fuck around, find out. I like that. I like that. Like, it sounds kind of more new. It doesn't sound like, something that like, but I just like that line. I'm like, that's a great line, because I'm like, yeah, like here's where you can fuck around, but you're gonna find out what happens if you do. It's like, fuck.
And to the other aspect of it, I've noticed that. And it's not just one particular channel, but there's always these smaller channels that are trying to antagonize with a much larger channel in hopes of catching some sort of buzz. And sometimes it works, and good for them. They get that little rub off them. Great. But then sometimes it gets a little too repetitive, and it's like, dude, just as an onlooker, it's like, whoa, that's a little cringy to me. But
all they're doing is like they're fucking. It's like getting high or something. Like they're chasing the dragon, where they're just continuously trying to find that high of getting somebody big. Like you have people getting attacked by the commentary community, which I still don't even know what the fuck that is.
Well, I was involved with some of them and this from one of my other channels. I did a commentary on John Swan, and John Swan. Again, the rise and fall of him was just epic. The horrible things he did and the way he treated people. And I did a video on him, and it did very well. I got noticed by some people, and we had a little conversation, and I interviewed a couple of them, and we talked about some of this, but it was only a commentary to have that conversation. Not every commentary channel is the fucking devil. Some of them are just, Keemstar, who's one of the most popular faces as far as YouTube goes and social media in general. He had Drama Alert, and it was a commentary channel where he talked originally. When I first saw Keemstar, he was talking about Angry Grandpa, and he was talking about McJuggernuggets, and he was talking about all these other things. And I was, at a time when I was foolish and naive, involved in groups that were trying to bite off of him and get, that same notoriety. It worked. And then they ultimately, I watched them implode under their own fucking popularity and their own stupidity. And it's sad. And I'm seeing it, because history is doomed to repeat itself. I'm seeing some of these people do the same thing. And I there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can say, because if I say anything, it comes off condescending. But I've seen it happen before, and it's an age-old tale of people doing dumb things to try to get popular, instead of relying on their own content. And again, that's just my opinion. Vilify me, say what you want, but I think there's a better way of doing things. I'm not saying what we're doing is the best way. I just think it's the best way for you and I to do things. It doesn't mean it's the best way for other people to do it. But, you're shooting yourself in the foot when you're targeting 50 fucking people and nothing's sticking. It's like throwing spaghetti at the wall, but then you throw your whole fucking meal out. You've thrown all your food out. You're stuck and you have nothing. You've wasted all that time for nothing.
Yeah, it's like you're like spending hours upon hours or whatever. Just That's like even like when I'm like, if I'm doing a gameplay show, I'm like, oh yeah, I've somewhat kept up to date with what's been going on here and all that good stuff. I'm just like, just be like yeah, I'm watching, I'm listening to everything, all the chaos that's going on, if little by little chaos or whatever, and I'm just like, yeah, I've heard everything. I'm like,
that's over here. And but again, like, it doesn't mean that. Okay, going back to what I said earlier. I am a fan of CVG. He's a commenter on Cyrex, and I loved his work on Cyrex. I'm not going to say the guy's name because I'm not trying to fucking catch any kind of fucking flack, but there's another guy. They make music about these guys, and they do different little things. There's a guy named Doom who does really good music that I enjoy. I find it hilarious. But these guys, yeah. I like the content. It has nothing to do with a personal beef with anybody. He made something that I found entertaining. Perfect example. Right now, Jason Aldean is catching all kinds of shit because of his song, right?
Yeah.
I still like Jason Aldean. If someone doesn't like Jason Aldean, hey, that's not my fight to have. You don't like Jason Aldean, cool, whatever.
It's like fucking, what was it, Aaron Lewis a year or two ago when he released the song "Am I the Only One," where he was basically just talking about like fucking like all the BS that's going on with the masks and the riots and this and that. I'm like, okay, he's speaking his mind. I don't dislike him because Aaron Lewis is a very opinionated individual. I may not agree with what he says sometimes. Still love his music. It
goes back to fucking what we talked about before with Allie. I like Allie. I think she's funny as shit. She's ridiculous, and I like her for who she is as a content creator. I mean, like, I see her memes constantly, but I'm not. If you hate Allie, cool. I'm not going to tell you not to hate her, but I like her, and I want to keep watching her.
Yeah, it's also like another person I could use from music, Kid Rock. Kid Rock, I think a year or two ago and I loved his response when he did that remix of "Don't Tell Me How to Live," because it was a remix of another song, but they had the actual singer from Monster Truck perform with him doing that song. And I said that song, I love that song, and there are things about it I agree with it, with his song, or even with the Bud Light conference when he shot up the Bud Light cans. Fuck Bud. He said that. I'm like thinking, what was it? It makes sense now when I'm like working at the bar. I barely sell Bud Light. The only reason I sold Bud Light the other day was because I had no other beer to offer. They're like, I guess I'll have Bud Light.
It's okay to fucking enjoy something and not take a stance. You don't like.
Yeah. You like Bud Light, drink Bud Light.
Yeah, fucking. If you like Bud Light, drink Bud Light. I don't give a fuck. I mean, personally, I'm not drinking it, but that's just my opinion. I'm not going to tell you it's not fucking.
I'm going to thank this guy. I'm talking about beer, but yeah.
I'm going to drink fucking Miller. That's also because that's a Texas beer.
Yeah, true. I just like Saint Dos Equis, so I like drinking. Yeah.
But again, like, I think that it's never. I don't think it's ever too late to finally say, you know what, I'm gonna take a step back. I've watched people like get vilified for shit, and they're gonna be hated on for the rest of their lives. and they keep getting dragged into shit, and it sucks. But at some point, you have to decide what do you care about. You want to make a change? Cool, do that. Step away, do your thing. But you can't keep giving motherfuckers the fucking ability to get to you, and you can't look. If you want to step away, then you have to fucking 100% step away. No more, no acknowledgement, no more bullshit. Just say, hey, look, y'all want to talk about that? Cool, do your thing. I'm out. I'm done. You have a right to step away. You have a right to say I'm done.
What do you call it? Like, yeah, it used to be like, now it's a little bit easier to not talk about anybody or name drop people. Back then, it used to be fucking difficult. Be like, oh yeah, I gotta say this name because pisses them off just because But then again, it pisses them off even if you reference them.
But then again, do you have to? That's the thing. You said it's hard, but now that you've done it and now that we're here, is it really that hard?
No. We've again, certain topics we've discussed, I could have just went ape shit on different people that could have fit within the narrative of whatever topic we were discussing. But no, there's no point. And again, this show is really not about to get people talking negatively. It's like, again, it's for our entertainment, for us to have fun. And a side thing, if people want to have discussions about it, like in the comments or whatever, that's great too.
Well, look how this is how twisted it's got. One of the episodes we did early on was about OnlyFans.
Yeah.
And we had already pre-recorded that. We had already fucking put it in the can. We had already fucking done the art for it and everything. And someone started talking about OnlyFans. And I know there was some comments about how we were, jocking on other people's shit. But that wasn't the case. We, if we had to go back and show the messages, which we shouldn't have to, it's ridiculous that anybody.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the other thing. We had everything has to be shown. Oh, well, show text.
I had done that
because we could have easily bragged, said, "Hey, you stole from us." Basically, we want our residuals, motherfuckers.
But that wasn't the case, and I think we handled it well. Like people, there was folks that thought that we were biting off them, and it's like, no, I don't care. Look, do I occasionally watch some other folks' content? Yes, I will acknowledge that 100%, but not for the reasons you think. The reasons I would watch was to get an idea and a perspective of where their mindset was on a particular topic or wherever that may be. Did it coincide with ours, or what were they doing? And what was my opinion of that? Because you're allowed to do that.
Yeah. For example, the last few shorts I did on here were like the Super Kick Party parodies. And I might add, they were really good for me. Yeah, especially that last one, where it was just. I said, if only that camera got the full floor, because I could have put something on the floor and dry humping like Shawn Michaels did with the Canadian flag, but I had to sell for a pole.
Well, to be fair though, who put the fucking patent on doing that? No one said. Look, no one owns any of these things that these people.
Oh yeah, if someone says, to be fair. Like people who do the Super Kick Party thing, they usually try to do it in the form of the Young Bucks. I do it in the form of course, one of my all-time favorites, Shawn Michaels. So I was like, and then I did like a tame version, and then I did the 97 Shawn Michaels. Like basically, one of these days, when I get fit enough, I'm going to be doing that skit again in biker shorts. I swear to God. Especially once I get my long hair back and all that. So imagine Shawn coming out with the button-up shirt, the biker shorts, and the shoes. Yeah, that's going to be me one day. One day. That's my goal.
But what I'm saying is, nobody owns this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's go back way back, right? When everybody was doing the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Who the fuck owns that? Nobody. If you want to do an Ice Bucket Challenge, do it. If you want to do but when planking was popular, everybody was posting videos about planking, but it's gotten so fucking toxic that you can't even say a phrase, without someone jumping down your throat and saying you're biting their style. No one owns an opinion on OnlyFans. No one owns the right to criticize or praise OnlyFans. You can fucking do whatever. Shut the fuck up.
I did a shower video. Some people were doing shower videos after that. Even if I say, if I could say, oh, well, you're just copying from me, it's again, I'm not the first person, nor am I going to be the last person to do shower videos. Mine's still the best though, but anyway, kidding.
But what it comes down to is just like loosen the fuck up, man. Like a lot of
like we talked about like people getting mad about the OnlyFans thing or whatever. And when I did the shower thing, and when I saw some people were doing videos of their own, I thought it was funny that they were even if they say they weren't copying, like it was just coincidence of everything. And I was like, all right, like I have like, you did show full body like I did, but I give you props.
They can do that. There's nothing.
Yeah.
I'm not like monopoly on fucking shower videos.
I'm not like sitting there, like I'm watching it. I'm looking at it just to see, and again, I kind of regret looking at it, but I was like, okay, this is what.
Well, I mean, like, and to bring some humor to what you were doing, you did the shower video. Well, before you, years ago, there was a guy who was in a wrestling demographic who did a shower video, who was trying to do a review of Axe body wash or whatever.
Damn, I should have did that with Irish Spring. Fuck.
Well, and then there was another video. He was in the shower and he fell. Like he tried to say he had a concussion, but that was his shtick. I found that guy kind of humorous when I realized what he was. He was a parody of himself. As a human being, I'm not a fan. Like I think he's a garbage human being. Just throwing it out there. But that's again an opinion I have, not for everybody to share. But
the point, like, is like I looked at that and I was like, I was like, I wasn't like, people get so mad when they fucking when that type of stuff happens. Even with the Jordan, I'll say Jordan's name. Jordan and I have had disagreements about this. Like the chill stream saying, like when we talk about, you've stolen the chill stream from this, that, and the third. I'm like, we've taken, like, nobody owns the rights to the chill to the term chill stream. I don't. Jordan does it. Tom does it. David 3000. Shout out to him. Fucking Brandon Martin. I know he doesn't do chill streams. I was using him as an example. ZTB, Dragon, like anybody. Nobody fucking owns the term chill stream. We all are basically trying to make it our own.
Agreed.
Like, I do open house. That's basically.
So there was I know there was a concept recently, and somebody was basically putting a camera in front of a TV while they're playing games, right? That's great.
Oh, yeah.
Now, to be fair, I know that somebody was saying that I don't know who, it doesn't matter at this point, but someone was saying that someone was trying to jock off that style. But if you go back and look, way back when the gaming, like streaming, really blew up on YouTube years and years ago, Darkside Phil started doing that by videotaping his gameplay with a camera, not using a capture card. He would just put a camera in front of the TV and you saw it and he played. That he did that, but and granted, Darkside Phil came out and said that he was the one who invented the gameplay stream. Did he? Fucking, it's lost to time. Nobody really fucking knows. Wings of Redemption did the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, all these guys did this shit before, and now other people are taking it and trying to make it their own. Great. Do your fucking thing. Nothing, and I hate to say this, but nothing is new anymore. Everything is a remake of a remake of a remake.
Yeah, like my gameplay videos I do, they're not like, there's nothing. Even if I got a camera, for example, like if I got a camera to do my gameplay streams and all that, still would not be something unique and creative because it's already been done before. It's been done countless times, everybody, the only thing we could do, and this is something advice I would give. The only thing we could do is to take whatever ideas we are doing that maybe belong to somebody else and put our own twist to it. To make it somewhat our own, even if it's never going to be fully ours. Like this show, you could say people could compare it to like fucking Rant and Rave, and then Rant and Rave, they could compare it to fucking Both of Us on the Sofas. They could compare it to the whatever, I think David's show that he does or whatever, David 3000, Tom's show, whatever. At the end of the day, we're all like in the same bubble of kind of the content, like in terms of the format and all that. But what matters is what we do to make it our own.
Agreed.
And I personally believe that like our show is unique to Rant and Raves. Rant and Raves is unique to Both of Us. Both of Us is unique to Tom's is unique to whatever. But we have like a foundation that we all share. But we have we have a foundation, but we have something to make it stand out comparing to others.
Agreed. Like no one does what we do the way we do it. Nobody does Jordan, Brandon, Tom, how they do them.
Yeah.
Another example, if we look back at so again, I'll bring up CVG again. No one does CVG like he does, like CVG does Cyrax. He does it a certain way. But there were guys that did the similar thing with Darkside Phil, like Soma Julius Cruz did really good shit about fucking DSP. You know, no one did Wings of Redemption content quite like what was his name, Lord of the Wings or Sean Ranklin back in the day. You know, big up Sean Ranklin. You know, no one made music quite like fucking Liquid Richard whenever he made those fucking awesome parody songs about Wings of Redemption. I missed those. They were hilarious. But they're like everybody's doing their own content. Can't you appreciate? Like you can't. Country has so many different like artists. Rap has so many different artists.
Yeah.
Rock has so many different artists. YouTube has so many different content creators. You just kind of find what you like. I like a particular person in girl world in the foodie beauty, you know, spectrum. I like a particular person in watching DSP stuff. You know, everybody has their own fucking shtick in the way they do it. Just appreciate the content.
My content, like I watch again, like besides like gameplay content, I watch like fucking Dead Meat and like we talk Found Flicks and fucking Drum Dums, like for my reviews, Chris Stuckman. You know, it's like
CZ's World is another example.
CZ's
World is no different. Like him and Found Flicks do a bunch of different shit, but they have their own style. It's just the way they do it. Like Angry Joe, Maximilian Dude, every one of them, they provide a similar kind of content, but it's their own way of doing it. And what I find is hilarious is it's not these bigger channels who would, you know, if anything, they're the ones who should be fighting over territory about, you know, fan viewership. It's the smaller channels that are fighting for scraps, when instead of worrying about the scraps, we're about building yourself. Again, this is an opinion. Building yourself up into something, find your niche, find what you like to do, and then go. And then when you get to a point where you're having something sustainable, then maybe you can bitch and moan. But I bet you're not going to be bitching and moaning, because if you got to that point, you're definitely making some coin off of this. And you know, once you have a little coin in your pocket, you're not going to be worrying about what other people are doing. You're going to be worried about what you're doing.
Exactly. And that's the main thing. Worry about others, worry about yourself. And going back to to sum it all up, like if you're not doing, like the old saying is regarding social media or whatever, like I do this to have fun. I don't do this for any other I find TikTok one of my favorite things to do. I'll record fucking 8 videos like in a day, just to put them on fucking like day by day, just to and all that. People like my stuff, you know, but there are days I don't go on or I don't post anything on TikTok. Like I think I haven't posted a video in a couple of days. You know,
but that's okay, right?
Yeah, and nobody's like going messaging me say, "Hey, where's your content?" or whatever. Nah, they just, you know, I don't post because, like, in hell, more power to the people who post multiple videos a day. I don't know how in the fuck you do that. Like, I try to space everything out myself, but I gotta be in the mood for it, you know. Like especially if I'm doing those lip syncing videos, like I gotta fucking be in the fucking mood. I can't just be. Like, as I'm moving around, like, again, with the Shawn Michaels super kick one, I'm moving around. I'm not just fucking just sitting there, like, giving my thoughts or something. Like, the what do you call it? The Blu-ray unboxings. Those are easy because just take me less probably.
But that is your shtick. And everybody knows you're the movie guy. You like to do shit on TikTok. And sometimes it transfers over here. And I know we're coming to the end of this, but I think ultimately what I'm trying to say, and what we're both trying to say, is stop taking yourself so fucking seriously.
Yeah.
And stop feeling like, you know, you have to choose. We're all able to get on this platform and enjoy content for what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. What But when you decide and you make that adult decision to get involved, don't drag everybody else with you. That is your decision to make. That you want to go in there, you want to pick a fight with somebody. Hey, you do that, and hey, more power to you. But it doesn't mean you have the right to criticize people who don't want to be involved. You made that choice, not them, and it doesn't make them a bad person because they don't want to jump into your fucking fight. It doesn't make them your fucking enemy. It means that they don't want to be involved in your fucking little feud. You have a problem with somebody. If you poke the bear and the bear's mauling you, why are you trying to make everybody else get mauled by that fucking bear? You made a choice. You made a decision to poke a bear. You made a decision to make comments. And if you want to make outlandish claims and you want to make fucking controversial things, hey, you go right ahead and do that. That's your right. You have every ability to do that here on this platform, on any platform for that matter. But also know that everything you do has a consequence. I choose to watch. I choose to be entertained by the content I view. But I'm not going to fight anybody's battle. I'm not going to pick a fight with anybody because it's just not what I want to do. I want to sit here, have genuine discussions with you and talk about movies or talk about whatever we're talking about. For instance, we're talking about this today and go on with my day. I don't want to have to check my phone every 5 minutes for a notification about what somebody said. Those days are over.
That was like, honestly, that was draining. Back in the day when I would get messages from different people saying, hey, this guy mentioned you. And back then just kind of taking it as it is. But now if ever I hear that shit, I'm like blocked because I'm like, you're not exactly. Really.
And I'm glad, this is the last thing I'll say. I'll let you close out whatever you got to close out. That's another fucking problem is that people who would call themselves your fucking friends are too busy trying to get you involved with shit that you don't want anything to do with. Then maybe you need to reevaluate your fucking friends. Because if I tell somebody, hey, I don't want to know about this, I don't care about it. If they're talking, if they're saying this, hey, cool, that they have every right to feel how they feel, I don't care. And if they continue to fucking try to involve you, then it's time to reevaluate where they stand in your social circle.
Yeah, and I've had people who basically had to reevaluate themselves or fucking just kind of where we don't talk that much because it's just like, I want to have conversations that are not just about shit like that, and all that. Like you and I, like we've talked about, you and I could talk about the stuff for 5 seconds and then we go on and talk about fucking what do we eat today? Or what happened at work or whatever. We do and that's why I like, we can't and all that. Like I don't mind talking about certain stuff.
Social media. We do this shit for fun.
Yeah. And that's like the thing. If you're like I've always said this to people, if you're not having fun, then what is the point of even doing it? I guess that'll be my final regards of the matter. But we will be next week. We will be talking about something that we kind of called as a unofficial trilogy from the alley stuff to this to next week's episode. And it's going to be what I probably consider is going to be a very polarizing episode for people. And that is genders participating in other gender sports.
And in general, like that, this idea, especially we'll be talking about Leah Thomas, the swimmer, and the controversy between her and competing in women's swimming.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about that and much more. So yes, I hope you all are looking forward to that. And then I think we have of the current batch, we have UFOs after that?
I believe UFOs after that.
And then we'll evaluate where we go. Is it the end of the show? No, I'm kidding. Be like find out the two. Just build some cheap clicks or just see again, going back to the whole clicks thing. Be like, is this the end of the Exiled Outcast as we morph into Exiled Barbie girls? Everything's pink. No. If
you want, I will make this entire show pink.
I believe it. Then we gotta be on camera wearing dresses every.
I'm not wearing a fucking dress. What is with you and wanting to dress up?
Huh?
I'm not wearing a dress. What is it with you and your fucking obsession with wanting to get dressed up in pink?
I like doing that for shits and giggles, especially with the Barbie.
I know what you do at home by yourself when no one's looking.
I Buffalo Bill.
Okay.
No, listen to Goodbye. Well, Goodbye Horse is a great song, but that's not just from Silence of the Lambs, from the Clerks. Clerks 2, I believe. Still need to watch Clerks 3, by the way. But anyway, I am, of course, Chayton.
And I'm Dan.
And we will see you all next time. Till then, ta-ta for now.